The room shimmered in soft pastels, a perfectly staged illusion of happiness. Balloons floated like fragile hopes above. Each chair gently swaying with the air. Conditioning. Tables were scattered with pink and blue confetti as if trying to hide the truth buried beneath them. At the center stood a giant cake shaped like a teddy bear, its frosted grin mocking the moment. Laughter echoed off the walls. Glasses clinked like tiny bells, and voices merged in cheerful ignorance. Emily sat glowing, hands resting on the soft roundness of her belly, her smile shining, picture perfect. Every detail of the baby shower was her vision. She'd planned it for weeks, determined it'd be flawless. And why wouldn't it be? It was a tribute to life, to family, to our future. Only it wasn't. In my hand, clenched tightly, enough to slice skin, was a truth I had carried like fire in my chest, hot, unstable, waiting. Still I wore my calmest mask, lips steady, eyes controlled, heart pounding like a prisoner, begging to be freed. I stood slowly and tapped my glass with the edge of a spoon. A soft chime echoed. Conversations paused, heads turned toward me in polite interest. Emily's eyes glowed with affection. I raised my glass. To my wife, I said, smiling like nothing was wrong. The most stunning, radiant woman I've ever known. She beamed, her eyes glistening. And to the real father of this baby, the room snapped into silence, heavy and stifling. All color vanished from Emily's face like paint rinsed from a canvas. She gave a nervous laugh, her voice shaking. Jason, what are you saying? I reached into my jacket and pulled out a folded paper, cold, clinical, undeniable. I had a feeling, I said, opening it slowly. So I did what any man would. I got a paternity test. A champagne glass slipped from Claire's fingers and shattered on the tile. The sound cracked through the quiet like thunder. Emily's jaw dropped. Her eyes bounced between the paper and my face. Jason, this isn't funny. Should I read it out loud? I asked, my voice calm, even, and suddenly we weren't at a shower. We were in a courtroom. She, the accused. I, the judge and executioner. Let's rewind 6 weeks. I wasn't jealous. Never had been. I didn't snoop. I trusted. But something shifted. Her gaze didn't meet mine like it used to. Her replies came just a moment too late. Her phone always lay face down. One night, as she slept beside me, her phone lit up, just one word on the screen. Ours. Sent by an unknown number. I didn't wake her. I just stared. A cold weight filled my gut. I didn't know everything. Not yet. But I knew enough. The next morning, I called in a favor. A private investigator. Quiet and relentless. What he found wrecked me. Photos. Videos. Hotel. Lobbies. Familiar touches frozen in. Images that scorch my memory. And a man, Mark, my closest friend, my brother in all but blood. Betrayal doesn't always arrive with thunder. Sometimes it slips in quietly and shifts. Everything. I didn't shout, didn't confront. I waited. I had the test, done behind her back. When it arrived, I opened it alone. 0.0%. That figure rang louder than any yell. My world didn't break. It hardened. Emily begged for a grand shower. I helped plan it. I smiled, kissed her cheek, strung a pastel, streamers with shaking hands. Because revenge, when served cold, tastes like justice. And now, standing in the center of a party where smiles turned to stone, I held up the test. This baby isn't mine. The air turned to ice. Gasp, a sharp silence. Her father's jaw locked. Her mother's face. Drained pale. Mark, near the back. Froze. I looked at him. "Got anything you want to say, man?" He said, "Nothing." Couldn't. His face. Slack, like he'd watched his life collapse. In real time, Emily whispered, "Jason, please, let's talk later." "No," I replied, voice flat. Now, in front of everyone, tears streaked her cheeks. I made a mistake. I laughed, a dry, hollow laugh. A mistake is forgetting. Your keys. This was betrayal. Then I turned to the crowd. I want you all to hear this. I stood by her. I built a life with her. And every day she looked me in the eye, knowing this child wasn't mine. She let me touch her stomach, speak to a baby that didn't belong to me. She smiled, knowing this entire event was built on lies. Her sob broke like a crack in stone. And Mark, I turned him again. My best friend, the man I wanted to name Godfather. You drank my beer, sat at my table, promised. You had my back. And all along, you were sneaking into my wife's bed. He tried to speak. I stopped him with a glance. You two deserve each other. Then I pulled a folded stack of papers from my pocket. Already signed, I said. You'll get them tomorrow. Emily sobbed, voice breaking. Jason, I didn't answer. I raised my glass one more time to freedom. Then I set it down, turned, and walked away. The night air hit me like forgiveness. Cool, sharp, clean. The sound of the party faded behind me. My chest should have been heavy, but it wasn't. It was light, empty but free. My phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. I'm so sorry. I stared, then deleted it. No reply. Some betrayals don't earn answers. I looked back once, just once, at the lit-up house behind me. Then I slid into my car, turned the key, and drove off. And for the first time in weeks, I smiled